Today is a classic, a Sikha that, if you ask me one classic Rashi Sikha on this week's Parsha, I'll tell you this Sikha. A classic Sheba classic. The Pashtus and the Amkus come together, and it tells you the subtitle of the story. A big thing of the story in this week's Parsha is naming, giving names. We know that the Meir of Medayik B'Shma, the Meir's wisdom. The Meir's wisdom was that Lo Yuchal Chacham Lamed Al Soif Daitoi. Rabbi Meir is Meir Eini Chacham Ba'alocha. The Meir, the story, the Gemara tells the story that he came to a house. Ahin Aher. You do the story that he was able to see in a person through his name, he knew who he is. On this week's Parsha, a big theme is the Imahs giving names to their children. Not the Avis, the Imahs giving names to their children. And in Chassidus and Lakutei Sichas, Lakutei Torah, you have a lot about the names and what it means in Avodas Hashem. Let's start with the Rashi. Vayar Hashem gisnu Leah, vayiftach Hashem es rachma v'rochel akora. The Eivisha saw that Leah was a snua, she was disliked, she was hated. The Eivisha opened her womb. Vatar Leah, vatelet bein, vatikra shmo Reuven. She was pregnant, she had the birth to a son, and she called him Reuven. Ki omra, she said, Ki ro Hashem ba'oni, the Eivisha saw my pain, ki ata yovani ishi, now my husband will love me. Because he hated her, now he'll love her. She was again pregnant, she had a son. The Eivisha heard that I was hated. And he gave me also this child. One second. She had again a pregnancy, and she had another son. And she said, this time that my husband will accompany me, because I have 3 children with him. Rashi says that the women were Nevios, the wives of the Avis, and they knew that he's going to have 12 Shvatim, and now 3, so this is the perfect amount, because 3, 3, 3, and 3 is 12. Akin Kodesh my Levi. Vatar oid beim, oid vatelet beim, vatomer hapam, that I have even more than 3 children. Oides Hashem, Akin Kodesh my Yehuda, vatam oid miledis. Someone just asked a question, how could he hate his wife? How could someone hate his wife? It's a good question.
It's not only how come. This is the avot, the av.
Oh, right.
Very good.
The Avis.
It's more than that.
Right.
So, Zalma here. It's for you. Not only that, you can ask first the menschlichkeit. Lovin seems to be right. Lovin says that lo yosa came bim kamenu. It's nicht menschlich. We don't do this. That you marry a younger sister before the older sister. It's brought also alocha. It's sworn, acharonim tshuvas. You don't do it. Yes, mechila for the older sister. You bring it from this pasuk. So how come everyone knows today if you make a shidduch the younger sister before the older sister, you have to ask mechila and make a kinyan. Yakov didn't know that. Everyone in Beis Menachem Mendel knows that.
Today also they buy a present.
No, and Yakov didn't buy any present.
My youngest one, she is the 4th one, married first.
Yeah.
At 4 in 1 year. So she bought everybody, we gave her the money. She bought present to everyone, said, let me marry, and said, Baruch Hashem, and all married that year.
Okay. And Yakov didn't give any present.
He didn't ask us. That's
the dikduk on Kisinu the dikduk. Is that she was feeling it, or that it was coming from the outside toward her?
I don't know. So the Rebbe said that he was a child, when they learned Yakov Ish Tom, the Malamed said, what's the pshat Ish Tom? What's the pshat Ish Tom? It says, Malamed said in Yiddish, a rechte fartike mensch. So he picked up his hand and he asked Rebbe, what is a rechte fartike mensch? So the Rebbe gave a huge smile and the Rebbe said, when du bist älter werden, wirst du verstehen. When you'll grow up, you'll understand. In other words, the Rebbe said he still doesn't understand, but
what does it mean?
The Rashi says already a pshat and Tom. But the Malamed said in Yiddish. He taught in Yiddish. A rechtvaardige Mensch. Probably he heard it from his Malamed. He heard it from his Malamed. But anyway, it means he's a great guy. Something that's complimentary, right? So how does a guy who's called a ish tom arecht? Arecht means he's doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. Right means not left, right? So right means something positive. So how could a guy like this not understand what Lavan understands? That lo yosa came bim koimenu. So Rashi Bema says that Leah was always crying because the people said that there are two sisters and two brothers. The older brother will marry the older sister, and the younger brother will marry the younger sister. Leah will marry Esau, and Rachel will marry Yakov. And Bema says, brought in Sfonim HaKadoshim also, that Leah really had that power. She could have married Esau, make him a Baal Tshuva, whatever. Anyway, in Pshat, Leah belonged to Esau. Leah belonged to Esau. So he said, I'm not doing a wrong thing. She has a chosn already. She has her chosn already. But Lavan said, doesn't matter, she has her chosn. Bottom line is, the minig in this place is that when Meshtelta Chuppah, the older one goes out first. Anyway, I'm not answering a complete answer to your question, because that would be another shir. Tonight we're dealing with the Rashi, this Rashi and this Maimon Chazal at hand, which is this. Let's read the Rashi inside. Rashi the Bramaschal Vatikra Shmoy Reuven. I mean, obviously it's a good question and it requires a lot of thought. But we'll leave it for now. Rashi says Vatikra Shmoy Reuven. What's the pshat in the name Reuven? Besenu Pirsha, our sages said Amra Shis, that Leah said, Re'u, look, see, Ma ben b'nei leben chami. The difference of my son and the son of my father-in-law, Esau. Esau, the son of my father-in-law, Yakov, he sold the right of being the firstborn to the younger brother. Reuven never sold the right of being a firstborn to his younger brother. Not only that, he never complained about it when it was given away. And not only that, Reuven wanted to take the brother out of the pit. That's what Rashi says. And the similar thing is in the Gemara, where the source of Rabbi Yochanan Marsov, Reuven, Amar Rabbi Elazar said, Amra, she said, Amra Leah said, Re'u, look, ma ben Beni leben chami, the difference between my son and the son of my father-in-law, di leben chami, even though it was a conscious decision that he sold his bechor, he sold the right of the firstborn to Yakov for a pot of soup. Still, it says, Vayistim Esav as Yakov. Esav hated Yakov. He fooled me. Didn't fool him. Yaakov never fooled his brother. But he hated, he lied, he cheated. My son, said Leah, even though it was forced away from him, that Yaakov took away the bechor from Reuven, he gave it to Yosef. That when he desecrated the bed of his father, which the simple reading is that he slept with Bila, his father's concubine. So not nitna bechirasoi le Yosef. Afilo hachi lo yakne bei. He didn't have any kina. That's what it says. Let me see if that has that gis in my Gemara, because what do you mean Labani? It wasn't her son. Yosef was not her son. So it's mustama. It's a typo in the Gemara that I have here. Because what do you mean? I'm opening the Gemara. Today the Gemara is not on the shelf. The Gemara is in your pocket today.
Which website?
Yeah. No, it's Loi. Well, here it says I don't know. Yeah.
Why she has to make differentiation between Yosef and Esav? Who asked that? This is Yosef and this is Esav.
Yeah.
I don't understand. He didn't sell the Bechorah, and he killed my son, and he did not kill him?
Oh, it's a Lashon HaPasuk, Livnei Yosef ben Yisrael. Why did she say it?
Yeah. Why, no, why she
Very
look for
left with the
differentiation?
left hand. What does it have
Why are you
to
asking
go?
such a question? Why don't you ask a simpler question?
Yeah.
What's not understood in the pasuk that Rashi has to give an explanation? Not only what's not understood in the pasuk. The pasuk says, let's read the pasuk again. Vayar Hashem kisnu leah v'yiftach es rachma v'atar leah v'atelet ben. She had a child. V'tikra shmoi Reuven. She called him Reuven. Key. Why? Key. Why? What's the key? The key is key. Ki Amra. She said. Ki roa Hashem ba'ani. Hashem looked at my pain. Ki ata yovani ishi. Now my husband will love me, and that's why I called him Reuven.
Okay.
So what the pasuk says, Rashi doesn't say. What the pasuk doesn't say, Rashi says. Wasn't it good in the pasuk allein? Rashi says a pshat. Okay, in the Gemara you say that Beseinu Pirshu they have, but what's wrong with the pasuk? What's bothering Rashi? What's bothering? That's why I told you it's a classical Rashi Sikha. What's bothering Rashi? Pasuk says that the Eibishter opened her womb and she had a child. She said, Hashem looked at my pain. Now my husband, in her mind, now her husband's going to love her because she gave him a son. Vasan nishgut. That's why she said, Reuven, Ra Hashem be'ani. Vasan nishgut. Rashi is coming today. The pshat and the pasuk. What's not good in the pasuk that Rashi has to give? What's the shver? What's the question? And if something is a question, how can he give an answer that's against the actual pasuk? The Rebbe brings here 4 pshatim, and he slugs them up easily, one after the other. The first is the Mashah and the Gemara. The Mashah says that it should say. Why does it say it's Reuven? Reu means to see. Ra Hashem. But why does he have to add the word Bain? So Bain is to tell you another thing. Besides Ra Hashem Ba'ani, there's a second thing. The Rebbe says it's a nice pshat, al derech hadrushin, al derech hagemara. It's a very good pshat, and we find that there can be multiple meanings in one word, like Shemayim, as we'll say soon. It's not a problem, especially a piremez and drushin the Gemara. But if you come to Rashi, first of all, Rashi would have to tell you such a thing, and second of all, what's the bichlal shver? Look at all the other names: Shimon, Zvulun. First of all, in pshat, if a few syllables are off, it's not so bad. There's all the time we have Bavel, Shambalal Hashem. Balal and Bavel is not exactly the same, but it's just close. In pshat, you can't ask a question for every syllable. And if you really want to ask a question, it happens to be here. Out of all the names, this is better than Shimon, Zvulun, Yisachar. Reuven happens to be the best. Why? I'll tell you why it's the closest, is the Rebbe. It was, she says, Ra Hashem be'onyi. What are the 2 syllables that are most pronounced in the word be'onyi? Beis and nun. Be'onyi. Beis and nun. We find Lashon Trikan all the time, even in the Gemara, that where you have a word and you take out 1 or 2 syllables that are the most pronounced and you put it in another word to allude for that word. So same thing here. Reuven, Ra Hashem be'onyi. That's great. And the nekudas don't match up exactly, and not all the syllables are brought, but nishkefelach. Look, Rashi says the word Shemayim is made up of Samayim, Shamayim, Eshamayim. Shemayim doesn't have all the syllables, and the nekudas are a little different. But Shamayim is Eish Umayim. Eish, out of the word Eish, Sh, is very strong, and even though that's with a shva and Shamayim is with a kometz, so 1 syllable is off, and also the nekuda is slightly off, a kometz and a shva. You know what I mean? It's in pshuta shel mikra. You don't have to nickel and dime me over here for pshuta shel mikra. Shamayim is a Shamayim, Shamayim. Nishkeferlach. In pshat, you don't ask so many questions. So, just like Bavel. So here, Reuven works, it's like a hand in a glove. She said, Ra Hashem be'onyi. Hashem saw my pain. Re'u, look. Hashem, look. Bain, be'onyi. It's great. It's better than Zvulun, it's better than Shimon, it works so good. Vasa nish good. Again, in the Gemara could have Drush, but for Rashi, what's wrong here? So then there's another pshat, Yifei Torah brings, and they said, by the way, usually I don't type up everything today, I typed up the kitzur, everything, so if you want to take it home, you can look at it later. That Yifei Torah and Nezer HaKodesh and the Bereshis Rabbah said that it should have said, she should have called him Ro'ah, which is Lashon Yochid, not Ru'u, Lashon Rabbah. We're talking about the Eibishter.
Who's she talking over here?
Right, who's she talking to? Ru'u is Lashon Rabbah. So, and another pshat is brought in the Al-Shich. She should have said Ro'ah, Lashon Over, not Ru'u, which is Lashon Osid, which is the Eibishter saw, that was yesterday, not we'll see tomorrow. So the Rebbe says these are two good arguments, but Rashi should have quoted the words Ki Ro'ah Hashem, which would be the problem, and also you can ask the same question to Shimon. This question you can ask a Shimon the same thing, and Rashi wasn't bothered by Shimon, so he's not bothered by Reuven about this. And the fourth pshat is a maskela. David says that he said that by all of them, Bakulu ksiv tchilatam v'achkach Hashem. Mashenkin over here, we says the name and then the reason. Hainu shazeh shemay balavochi. That's a maskela. David says. It's still here. The Torah says befedish. The Torah says Vatar leah vatelet ben vatikra shemay Reuven. Ki why omra kirashem ba'anyi. It's very shver. Elamai. Before we go to the answer, also in the details of what Rashi says is why would she say a nevuah that's so far off? First of all, so far off and so negative that there's going to be jealousy between the brothers. They're going to throw him in a pit. They're going to throw him in a pit, and then that Reuven is going to sleep with a Pelegesh. She's like spilling all the beans. She's airing all the dirty laundry. Amra, she says it. The Mashotaka says that it was Shalom Midas. The Gemara says she wasn't one of the Nevi'os. So it was a Nevuah that she didn't even know. She said Reuven, but she didn't know why she's saying it. But that you can't say in the Rashi. Rashi's not said. Rashi says, read Rashi. Omra, she said. Omra, she said. So Rashi says that's that. Well, why would she say such dark prophecies? If she knew it, why would she tell all of this? Why would she tell all of this? And if she wants to say something nice about her son, she doesn't have to go so far. She can say the story of Dudoim. If she wants to say the contrast of Esav and her son, she could say Esav. Rashi says for 40 years he would capture women and he would torment them, even though they were married women. He would sleep with them, and when he's 40 years old, he commits again. He said, "My father's a tzaddik. I'm a tzaddik. My father got married at 40. I got married at 40." Mamish like the pig that says, look, I'm so pure. He was chazer. He was like a pig.
Chazer tlofov.
No, tlofov. So she could say contrast that to Reuven that was so conscientious that he went out even when it came to get. So he only went to get dudoyim, which is hefker. He not only chas v'sholom, he wouldn't think to hurt another human being, let alone to sleep with another woman. Even dudoyim, he would only take something from the fields if they were hefker, like the jasmine that he took was hefker. She could say many things about them. If she wants to contrast her son with Esav, there's a lot to say. And if Rashi already picks to say similar to the Gemara, he says different thing. He doesn't say what the Gemara says. The Gemara says that the difference of Esav and Reuven was that Esav hated his brother, and Reuven didn't hate his brother. And that's not what Rashi says. Rashi says that Esav sold the Bechorah, and Reuven didn't sell it. I mean, he doesn't say this. He just says every word he quotes is different than the Gemara. And how do I know that? Because when I typed it up, I couldn't even cut and paste from the Gemara to Rashi because it was not even two words that are the same. The Rashi said, why? If he already quotes the Gemara and he adds to the Gemara, why does he add? And if he wants to add, why doesn't he contrast those things to Esav? So the Rebbe says, the pshat is like this. In pshat,
Rashi couldn't be quoting a medrash or something else.
He could, but which medrash is he quoting here? We don't know. Right. L'chayr is the point of the Gemara, and he changes it. It's not a pella that Rashi shows, because Rashi says, "Ani lebasel pshut shel mikra, ul agodam yashev es divra mikra dover dober avofno." So obviously he changed. Right. He obviously changed it for a reason, because he's not quoting Mamish the Gemara. So the Shaila is what's going on. So what is Rashi trying to tell us? So the Rebbe says, a Pashtus, if you think about this, if a man marries a woman and then she gives him a child, naturally the man loves his wife. In many cases, a child will cement the marriage. If they have a child, so that brings them closer. If they have a child, that brings the husband and wife closer. They have something in common. They have a child in common. It's not a pella that a person will come to the hospital to pick up the wife and the baby and bring a gift. That's not a big pella. To bring her a box of chocolate or a piece of jewelry. It's not a pella that he'll show her extra love after she comes home and she has a baby and he spends extra time with his wife. It's not a big pella. And Chumash Lemikra knows that in the last time they had a new baby in the house, the father gave much extra attention to his wife and showed more love to his wife. It's not a big pella. But the pella here is that it says, Kisnu leah. So why would Leah think now that by having a baby, he's going to love her? He's going to have children from Rachel too. He's going to have children from Rachel too. No one knew that she was... The Torah knew that she's already an Akora. It doesn't say anywhere that they knew that Yakov knew, that Rachel knew that she was Akora. So why would Leah think if in her mind Yakov hates her, so okay, maybe he won't hate her now, but now he's going to love her. Why in her mind, if the pasuk says that Kisnu Leah, so why in her mind, what would it change if he's married to also Rachel and he really wanted to be married to Rachel and he'll have children to Rachel? So why should the having a child make such a difference that now it's a little, in other words, a little bit not chad v'chol, perla, it's not like a kasha, you can't sleep at night, but still there's a little bit it would bother someone. Akeata Yovani, what was he? She delusional that now. She's like talking to herself. If Yaakov hated her, so now she has a child. So okay, maybe the little of the venom comes off, but now he's going to love her. And besides, another kasha in the history of the Jewish people, as of now, the oldest son was never mutzlach. Avram had an oldest son, not a very big story of success, and Yitzchak had an oldest son, not a very big successful story. So she got first to the punch. He married her first, so she got pregnant first. So she had the first baby. Asa was also the first baby. Yishmael was also the first baby. But if the child ends up being a Asa or Yishmael, what's the yichus? So therefore, Rashi wants to say, it's a pellet, the way the Rebbe learns it into Rashi. Rashi's not saying a different reason than the Pasuk. Rashi's saying, she said, my husband's now going to love me. Why is he going to love me? Because I'm going to say a prophecy now. Now hold on to your chair before you fall off. I'm going to say Sedlei, a prophecy, that she says to Yaakov. I'm going to say a prophecy that when you hear this prophecy, and you will know it's true, because you will see it's true, she was a prophet, you will see that this is not, I gave you a child. I gave you a child that's such a tzaddik like Reuven, how could you not love me? When I give you a child like Reuven, there isn't not another child like this in planet Earth. So she was saying, look at this child. How could you not love me when I gave you this child? And Rashi is not saying a different, that's why Rashi says, Pirshu, not all, usually Rashi, Amru Rabbi Seinu. Rabbi Seinu say, didn't say Amru Rabbi Seinu. Pirshu, they gave a pirush. You might ask, why would she think that now she'll be loved? Rachel will also have children. Why does she think she's going to be loved? So the answer is, because she said something. She said, this kid is a special kid. And she said a nevuah. What was the nevuah? That he's the firstborn. She wasn't just going to talk about anything. There are a lot of things where Reuven was much greater than Esav. But in this thing that she had the first son of Bechor, she said, look at this. I'm going to show you a nevuah. And when it comes to, about the Bechor, the idea that he's a Bechor is very precious to him. He would never sell it and he would never give it away for no money in the world. Number one. Number two, she says, you're going to give it away to Yosef, and I know you're going to give it away to Yosef. I know you're going to give it away to Yosef. She doesn't say a reason why. We'll get to that in a minute. She doesn't say because he's going to sleep with Bila or anything. She says a prophecy. I know you're going to give away. Kilu, she's like also giving him a little jab. I'll get to that soon. She says, I know that you're going to give because you like Rochel better. She didn't say because he'll sleep. She never says that. She says, I know you're going to give away the right of the firstborn to Yosef. She doesn't say because Reuven is going to sin. Maybe she knows it. Maybe she doesn't know it. Maybe she never knew that that's going to be the impetus or it's so, dare I say, excuse. But that will be the opportunity. She never says that. She just says that I know that Yosef is going to go the Bechor. And you should know when Yosef will be the Bechor, this son I'm giving you now, not only will not be jealous, he'll not be ma'ared. And he says, not be ma'ared on Yosef. The fact that he won't be ma'ared against you, you're the father, he has to have kibbutav. Even Esav has kibbutav. The goyim machayev to have kibbutav. But he won't be ma'ared on his brother. Number 3, she says, not only won't, he's going to be in a pit. I tell you another prophecy. Yosef is going to be in a pit. You know what Reuven could say at that moment? My father wants to give away the Bechorah. Take it away from me, it belongs to me, and give it to Yosef. Everything is from God. Allah Akbar. This guy is now in a pit. God's great. That's it. It's good. Let him stay in the pit, and I'm going to keep the Bechorah. You know, like the Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, the Gemara says that what's the difference of tzaddik and a chassid? Because if a person clips their nails and the place where it falls, a pregnant woman steps over it, she might have a miscarriage. So a tzaddik buries it. Why? Because he doesn't want to burn it. Because if you burn it, it could be a danger to you. But the chassid says, I don't care. He burns it because if he buries it, it might get uncovered. And even though if you bury it, you already removed it from where originally you cut it, and therefore the sakona is not so strong. But still, it doesn't matter. A chassid, even if there's a slight sakona of someone else, he's going to put himself in danger.
You're willing to put it?
We
put it in the bedroom and flush it off.
So flush is like burying it. There are people that do better.
You're willing to suffer.
I'll tell you what, if it's only kedai to
put in a paper
right, and burn it. So Ibazoi, this is the tzitkas of Reuven. So she says 3 things, and she says loy oid v'loy oid. She said, look at the tzitkas of this kid I'm giving you. I know that you're going to give away the Bechorah to the younger brother, because in your mind, the oldest son of Rochel is really the Bechor. And that's really what he did. But still, he's not only is he not going to have kinna, he's not going to be ma'arer, he's going to save his life. And therefore, because he is such a son, Ata Yehavani Ishi, I deserve to be loved. Because this type of tzitkus you won't find anywhere in the world. Yeah, I'm sorry.
When they gave the Bechorah to Yosef?
It's not clear when he gave it to him. The Gemara talks about it in Bava Basra. It doesn't. It's not clear when, but at some point it happened. Which Agav Urcha, the Rebbe at that Farbrengen asked a question, which it seemed like a Rebbe didn't answer, but I think he did answer it, and that's why I want to talk about this. The Rebbe said that it's a pella. How could she say such a prophecy? There's always the tension between Yediyah and Bechira. If Hashem knows something, how does a person have free choice? If a person if a person without free choice, how could there be reward and punishment? How could there be if a person was destined to sin? How could Hashem punish him? If a person was destined to, this was his destiny to do this great mitzvah, how could he get rewarded anyway? That has to be done. So there's a concept of liba lepulma golagalia. The Eibush doesn't say it. What the Eibush knows doesn't affect her. How it doesn't affect Rambam, Aravid, but it has to be. It's a dava poshut that it can't be that whatever a person does is destined. So, but if it's a prophecy, it was said. So Leah is a prophet. She says it. So now, so how is it going to happen? If you're going to say they still have freedom of choice, or prophecy is not a prophecy, and if they don't have the freedom of choice, so why are they getting punished for it? So, what's going on? The Rebbe left it as a question, but I think really it was a rhetorical question, and based on the Sikha, it's fa'emfert, because really she never said any of the negativity. She just said that I know that you're going to give away the Bechorah to the son who you think is the oldest son. The fact that later Yosef is going to sin, Reuben is going to sin, and that's going to be the reason Yosef is at that point. But she never said that. And also,
she's saying two things. One is lo yitase and aseh. First she says you're not going to hate me, and then you're going to say and you're going to love me.
yeah, but I'm saying with her children, it seems like she said two very negative things. She said that Reuven, that he's going to sin, and therefore he's going to lose the bechorah. But the truth is, if you look at Rashi, she never said he's going to sin. Just the fact is that he's going to lose the bechorah. But she never said that he's going to lose the bechorah because he's going to sleep with Bila. She never said that. She never said those words. Also,
the tzaddikim know, but maybe so they said it. Yakov and Leah know. Who said they told to Reuben?
so that's what I'm saying. She never said. She just said he's going to lose the bechorah. The fact that he's going to sleep with Bila, she never said that.
Maybe she told it to Yakov, but I'm saying.
No, they can't. If you say bedibur, it's like, how could you say such a thing?
They both know, but Reuben still has free choice.
That's a very, very
That's
problematic.
how they could know something and it's going to happen.
Okay, it's very, but it said bedibur. It was like, it's like a pella pliatzuma. It's a pliatzuma. You can answer it that way. I'm saying, I think what it's like. How could you say such a thing? It's a prophecy. It was said, verbalized. The prophet says, these are the words of Hashem. So I think the better way to say is that she never said that he's going to lose the bechorah because of the fact that he will sleep with Bila. She just says, I know he's going to lose it. Could be really what she's saying is that Yakov he loves Rachel, and therefore he'll find a reason to give the bechorah to Yosef. And the same thing.
This agave, according to Chassidus, Yakov, he actually did sleep with Bilhah.
Oh, I don't know. Pshuta, not Pshuta. I don't know. No, I'm just saying at this point, in her nevuah, it isn't clear that the reason he's going to lose the bechorah is because of any sin. It's just that she said the fact that he's going to lose the bechorah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying...
Maybe this part of the nevuah she had, the second part she didn't have.
No, that's what I'm saying. She didn't say why. She just said he's going to lose it.
Yes.
And also the fact that Yosef is going to end up being an aboy, also the Gemara says that was a positive thing to it. The Gemara says that really Yaakov could have gone down b'shal shaloas shel barzel. The Gemara says in Shabbos that Peites. And the Eibishter made that Yosef should be sold to slavery and he should be in a pit. The fact that he would needed to be in a pit and then sold into slavery, that was for the benefit of Yaakov. But the whole thing that led up to it, that the brothers were jealous and they threw him in the pit, that she never said that. Leah never said the brothers will be jealous and they'll throw him in a pit. She just said that Yosef is going to be in a pit. Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is back to the Pshuta Shel Mikra. So she didn't say a different thing than from the pasuk. Rashi saying Rabbi Seinu Pirshu. Why did she think her husband will love her now that she gave him a child? Even though it seems that he hates her, because she said to him a prophecy. Before she said anything, she said, I'm going to tell you a prophecy about this son I just gave you. Eventually you're going to give away the bechorah to Yosef. She didn't say why, but she said that's going to happen. And eventually Yosef is going to be in a pit. She didn't say how, but she said that's going to happen. And you should know, this son, I'm a prophet, I'm telling you, this son I'm giving you today, not only that he won't have it in his heart against his brother that he became a bechor, he won't even complain about it, and not only that, he will go and try to save his life. This is the son I gave you today. And then she's called him Reuven, Ki ato yehavani ishi. Now that I gave him such a son, he's definitely going to love me. That's the pshat. It's not against the pshat. Actually just adding to the pshat, the pshuta shemikra, why in her mind Yaakov would love her just because she had a son. Because it's not stam a son. It's a very special son.
I think she had more nevuah than Yakov, because for 21 years she was mourning on Yosef. He didn't have nevuah, and when he wanted to tell the sons the nevuah in Mitzrayim, נסתלקה ממנו הנבואה. You couldn't tell him when he be אחרית הימים. So she was higher than him. She had all the time nevuah.
Well, in general, Rashi says that by Sora that she was higher than I mean, over here, the reason he lost his Nevius is because he was not Besimcha, and that would happen to every prophet, man or woman. If you're not Besimcha, you lose your Nevius. That happens automatically.
I guess this is all about Shalom Bayit.
So, anyway, summarize.
Every woman when she has church is the simple.
Uh-huh.
Every woman.
Shalom Bayit.
Especially if your wife gives you a child. So summarize. Again, Rashi here says, the Pasuk says that she called her son Reuven because she said, Kiro Hashem b'ani k'ateh v'ani ishi. Hashem saw my pain, now my husband will love me. And Rashi seems to say a different pshat based on Pirush Rabbi Seinu. Why does Rashi say it? What's bothering Rashi and what's Rashi accomplishing? The Rebbe says, simple. Rashi is wondering, why would she think that her husband's now going to love her if he hated her? Just because she had a son, he's going to have sons with the Rachel too. The answer is because she told him a prophecy that Yosef is going to end up being a Bechor, and Yosef is going to end up being a pit. And this son I just gave you, number one, he will have no sin in his heart that his brother became the Bechor. Number two, he will not have complaints against him. And number three, he's going to try to save his life. And Mela, because I gave you a son which is such a tzaddik, Ru'u ma ben beni leben chomi, and therefore I deserve to be loved. And that's the pshat. That's Ke'ati Yavani Ishi. I gave him such a tzaddik a son, therefore now he's going to love me for sure.
She said that?
That's what Rashi says. She said. So even though in the pasuk it says Ke'ata Yavani Ishi, my husband's now going to love me. But you're going to ask why? Just because she had a son with him, he'll turn all of a sudden from hating her to loving her. So therefore Rashi adds that there's a dirash, it's taka dirash, but this pasuk is begging for a dirash, that she said a prophecy. Wow. And the prophecy was about the godless of her son, that he's going to lose the bechorah. Not only will he not have a grudge, not only will he not complain, but he'll try to save his life. This is the son I gave you, so therefore you must love me. So now we understand why in her mind, through having the son of Reuven, she's going to be loved. The Rebbe has a nice pshat in Pnimis HaTorah, of what's in general about giving names, and we see that by the Ovis that the Torah doesn't say explicitly the reason. What Rashi says, the Yitzchak because they're laughing, and Yakov because he's holding on to his heel, Ekev, but doesn't say Al Kain Korah Shmoy Beferish in the Torah. Number one, number two, by the Ovis it seems that the fathers gave the name, and by the Shvatim the mothers seem to have given the name, with the exception of Binyamin, but in general, by the Shvatim, the mothers gave the name. By the Ovis, the fathers gave the name. By the Ovis, the Torah doesn't say explicitly the reason. And by the Shvatim, the Torah says explicitly the reason by each one of the names, or almost each one.
Was the reason then the name, or was the name?
Or either way, but for the Torah says it explicitly. The Rebbe says like this: B'Pashtus, it says in Chassidus, the pasuk says Kol asher nikra lo nefesh chai u'shmoi, that the neshama is connected with the name, and it says in Chassidus that really the name connects the neshama to the person. The neshama itself is beyond the name. Alamai, the name connects the neshama to the person. That's why sometimes a person has several gilgulim, and the neshama has different names, because the etzem of the neshama is higher than name. Alamai, the way the neshama gets connected to the goof, like the Alter Rebbe says, achayis ha-msheches ma-neshama machaya guf hi nishresers b'Hashem. So in the name there's two things. There's the general thing. For example, every person is called an Odom, a mean Odom. And then a person has a name, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehud, the Sachazvum. Yeah? So similar to that, we have the difference of the Ovis and the Shvatim. The Ovis, Chazal say, Ein Koinel Ovis El Shloisha. Why would it be terrible if I would say I have Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov? I know from Shevet Yehuda, so I have four Ovis. Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yehuda. I know from Shevet Yehuda. What's so terrible? The Gemara says, Ein Koinel Ovis El Shloisha. You can only call three people the Ovis. And if I know for Shevet Yehuda and I want to say I have four Ovis, the Alter Rebbe says no, because there's a difference between the Ovis and the Shvatim. The Ovis, every Jew has all in him, a little Avram, a little Yitzchak, a little Yaakov. But the Shvatim, not necessarily everyone has within him every one of the Shvatim. The Rebbe says that it's not just a question if you have it or you don't have it within. Even if you have it within you, the Avram Avinu that's in every Yid is a general thing, is the essence. The essence, Avram has Avos Hashem, it's in his DNA, and therefore he gave it over to every Jew, to the last generation. Yitzchak has Yiddish Hashem, he put it into his DNA, to every Jew has it until the last generation. Same thing, Yakov is Tiferes, he gave it to every single Jew. The Shvatim is not the same thing. It says a Chassidus that the Ovis were Makove law of Atzilus, the Shvatim were Kovet Atov of Bria. The Ovis it's like the DNA, it's the essence of the Jew. The Shvatim show 12 paths or 13 paths in Avodas Hashem. It's not the essence of the person. There is the person and the path in Avodas Hashem. He's a Jew. Before he has this path, he was born. Mazel Tov. It's a girl. It's a boy. Had he had a path in Avodas Hashem? Maybe he has, but doesn't know yet the path. But it's already a Yid. The Etzem is already a Yid. It's a Ben, Avram, Yitzchak, Yakov. Basor, Rivka, Rochel, Valeah. Later, it'll find out what the baby, what this person's path is in Avodas Hashem. Reuven, the Shimon, Yehuda, Zvulun, Yisachar. He's more Zvulun, more Yisachar. That comes. The difference of the Ovis and Shvatim is not only that the Ovis everyone has, and the Shvatim maybe someone has more Reuven, the other person has Yehuda, but it's also this is your essence, and the Shvatim is your job, is your path in Avodas Hashem. That's like the difference of Av ve'Ein. The Avodas Hashem of the Ovis are mainly connected to the Inyan of Ovis. What's the difference of a father and a mother? The essence of the child is from the seed of the father, but without the mother you have no baby. The baby is developed through the mother. The difference of the father and the mother is Chassidus is like the difference of Chochmah and Bina. The idea is Chochmah, and to develop the idea is Bina. And to take it apart, all the details is Bina. So that's why when it comes to the names of the Avos, which is the Etzem, the name of every Yid, the way he is, Avram, Yitzchak, Yakov, that the Torah doesn't say explicitly the reason. And the Avos give it, and because it's higher than giving an explicit reason. It's like Chochmah. Chochmah you don't understand. Chochmah you don't understand yet the details. But it's true, but you don't understand it yet.
What do you mean that the Avos give it?
The Avos, Avram gave his name to son Yitzchak.
No,
and Yitzchak, Avram Alain is Takanish, the Eibishter. But Avram gave his son Yitzchak, and Yitzchak gave it to son Yaakov. Mashen came the Shvatim. The name came from the Imaz. Why? Because this is the whole idea of the names of the Shvatim is the derech and of the 12 or 13 roads and the 12 and 13 gates of the Beis HaMikdash. The Arizal says that the 13 gates in the Beis HaMikdash connect the 13 Shvatim. That there's 13 roads to go up to the Beis HaMikdash and 13 gates to get into the Beis HaMikdash. 13 different roads in Avodas Hashem. That is connected with the Imaz. That's why there is an explicit reason, because that has to do with Bina. Bina explains itself. Leah explains herself, A, and B, Leah is more shaykhs to the specific path in Avodas Hashem, because that's of Bina, and generally the Imos of the father has to do with Chochmah, and Bina Yisayda Nitna B'isha. So therefore Rashi comes along and explains that you might read the pasuk and you think that Leah is and Rachel are talking about herself. Dona din be'atzma. Ra Hashem kisnua noichi. Sham Hashem kisnua oni. Ra Hashem be'oni kisnua noichi. Yilove Eloi. So you might think she's talking about her Avodas Hashem. So therefore Rashi tells you, no, it's not true. She's not talking about her Avodas Hashem. Ruma ben bni leben chami. She's trying to talk about the mile of her son. She was saying a nevuah about the mile and the path that her son is going to take in Avodas Hashem. And the path he's going to take in Avodas Hashem, not only he wouldn't be jealous of another human being, but in the contrary, not only will he not be ma'adir, but in the contrary, he would try to save his life, but this guy is direct opponent of him. He's going to be the ultimate chassid. She was revealing the Maila in the Avodas Hashem of her son. And the emesis that Chassidus says, even when she said, that really she wasn't talking about, she wasn't talking about Yakov, She was talking about her son. That her son's avodas Hashem is going to be the leah elyoina. He's going to see the Eibishter, and therefore he's going to have avos Hashem. Because when you see the sweetness of godliness, you come to have avos Hashem, and that's she was explaining. And Shimon, he's going to be shmiya meirochek. Therefore, he's going to have yiras Hashem. She was explaining about. She was revealing. So therefore, Rashi says that Abisayim Pirshu. Again, Pirshu is not Omru. They were Mefarish. You might think that the Imams are talking about themselves. So the answer is no. They were revealing the Avodah Shemaisa of a similar bonim. They were revealing the Avodah Hashem that's going to be in their children. And indeed, we find in Chassidus that and the name of every one of the Shvatim, there is a ton of Chassidus explaining how that's the Avodah Hashem of a Yid.
Why she said Beni and not Beneni?
Because she was talking as opposed to the other women, to the other wife or the other women. She was contrasting herself to Rachel, or to herself to Rachel plus Bila and Zilpah. She was not talking. We're talking about the difference of just a Beni, which is that's what she wants, because even though he loved, right.
When she get to the fourth one, Yehuda, she stopped saying thank you.
No. Fakir, the Gemara says that until Yehuda came, there wasn't a person that thanked Hashem as powerful as Leah. Okay, so that's a shepherd child. Anyway, what's the shaykhs of this?
You have to ask more.
You have to ask more?
Say thank you, but ask more. Don't stop. Every day you have to daven.
But Lo Yisila Poel Taka, she got more. The connection, Zok Rebbe, to this Shalom Kodesh says that there's always a connection to the Shabbos, to the Parsha with the Yom Tovim, and there's this Shabbos is the Stalkos Elula, close to 250 years of the Mittel Rebbe, the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, and this Shabbos is going to be a Stalkos Elula, Parshas Vayetzei. So the said, and later the Rebbe said that what was the difference between the first and the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe and the Mittel Rebbe? The Alter Rebbe revealed Torah Chassidus and the Nekuda, the point. The Tanya is the Nekuda, the Lakotei Torah is the Nekuda. And his son, the Mittel Rebbe, developed it, Berechoives Hanor, and all the details. The difference, the Alter Rebbe and the Mittel Rebbe is like the difference of Chochma and Bina. And Kiyadua, that the Mittel Rebbe used to talk to his Chassidim and Chassidus for many hours, to the extent that he was, there were times that he said the Chassidus 18 hours straight.
Wow.
And Kiyadua, that he met with the Rabbi Eger, he said Chassidus was like for hours. And Rabbi Eger listened to the end, but it was like the Mittel Rebbe was many hours. And Kiyadua, that the Mittel Rebbe said that what his biggest thing in life is he wants that when two Yidden will meet each other in the marketplace, they will talk Chassidus. And another thing he said that brought in the Sikha, sollen die junge Leute verstehen in Kesse with the finne Finger, wird sein zufrieden. He said, what will make him happy when the young Chassidim will talk about the levels in Kesse, Atik and Arich, godly things, and they will be clear and proficient, like the 5 fingers in their hand. You know, you have 5 fingers. It's very clear that you have 5 fingers. He said, what will make me happy when my Chassidim will be clear in Kesser, like the 5 fingers in their hands. So that was the whole idea of the Mittel Rebbe.
What do you mean by Kesser again? I don't.
Kesser, there's a place. There's some place. It's 1703 Avenue J, and the Himmel. It's called Kesser. But to get there, you got to know the address. It's not easy to get there.
1703.
So we know it's 1703, but it's not easy to get to Kesser. The Mittel Rebbe said he wants that his Chassidim should be so proficient that they should know how to get to Kesser like you know how to count the 5 fingers in your hands. So the difference of the Alter Rebbe and the Mittel Rebbe is like the difference of the Ovis and the Imaz. So in this week's Parshas Vayetzei is talking about the mile of the Imaz and the prophecy that they had and the way they were able to bring out in their children, like a Jewish mother knows how to bring out the milas of her children, that Imos were able to bring out in their nevuah the milas of their children and avodas Hashem. And that came all through the names that they gave, and the nevuah that they said was the milas in their name. So Mela, that's a shaykhus to the Istalkas Hilula of the Mittler Rebbe. The Rebbe shall help from that. We should know the stuff. We should know how to get to Keser, like the 5 fingers on our hands. It should be as easy. It should be as easy. It should be as easy as 1703 Avenue J. And Takazai, we learn about it when we come Sunday, or every Sunday when we get together. 1703 Avenue J. We're learning a little more about Keser and about Atzilus and Atik and Arich. And the Baal Shem Tov said that Mashiach told him that when Yefutzah Menasech Chutza, when the Yidden will learn it and it will be spread all over the world, is Kosim Malka Mashiach. So since we're doing it, the Eivah should help them that we should be Zeicha that Kosim Malka Mashiach.